letting them know nothing is done. We just need to keep the momentum, keep winning the games without getting too excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's tougher games to come as well in the coming weeks. OK, we've got plenty to talk about, but let's first of all bring you up to date with how this week has panned out so far. Of course, all the fixtures started on the Friday. West Ham losing to Brentford 2-0. Liverpool with a 2-1 win over Leicester City. As for today, courtesy of Marcus Rashford, well, Manchester United beat Wolves. It was Bournemouth that lost out at the hands of Crystal Palace, who got back to winning ways. Fulham, a couple of wins for them in a row now, beating Southampton 2-1. Manchester City, dropped points against Everton. It was 1-1 in the end. It was also a draw for Newcastle as they dropped points at the hands of Leeds United. And there's confirmation of Arsenal's 4-2 win over Brighton. We've got more big games to come tomorrow with Spurs hosting Villa and Chelsea travelling to Nottingham Forest. Big game for Chelsea as well. Because if we look at the Premier League table, well, it makes great reading for Arsenal fans. As you have seen there, they are 7 points clear at the top, ahead of Manchester City after they dropped points earlier on. Newcastle in third, and Manchester United managed to creep into that top four, with Tottenham and Liverpool completing the top six. Brighton up to eighth, but you can see Chelsea in ninth. A lot for them to do to make it into that top four. As for the bottom half, well, there's only 4 points separating the bottom 7 teams. Southampton are the team to prop up the table. Only 3 wins to their name this campaign. 12 points from their opening 17 games. Nottingham Forest and Wolves completing that relegation picture at the moment, with West Ham and Everton hovering above it.
Well done. You celebrate going into the new year with a 7-point lead at the top of the table. Bukayo, how does that sound?
Sounds amazing. You know, of course, at the start of the season, if you asked us if we'd want this, we'd bat your hands off, so we're really happy.
Martin, how much was it in your minds going into this game that opportunity was there after the Manchester City result?
No, to be honest, as we said many times, we focus on ourselves. We don't care about the other teams. We came here, we wanted to get the 3 points, and that's all. We don't focus too much on the other teams, so we focus on ourselves. And 3 points was everything today, and we did it.
They gave you perhaps a more anxious second half, Brighton, than you might have imagined at one point.
Yeah, I think we need to control the game a little bit better. I think we let them into the game twice there, so but it's a difficult team to play against. Very good on the ball. Very good team, so it's difficult, but I think we can do better in some parts of the game, you know.
Bukayo, you scored very, very early on. What emphasis was there today on a fast start?
No, there was a big emphasis. You know, we know how hard it is to come here in recent seasons as well, and with the weather as well, it wasn't so easy. But you know, with that goal nice and early, it set us up.
It's a great finish as well, because you had to control a ball that had taken a couple of deflections.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it fell for me. So when it fell, I just had to show some composure and try and put it in the far corner, and I'm happy I did.
Martin, you were on target again as well. Perhaps not the greatest goal you've ever scored, but the timing was crucial.
I think it was a great goal. A great finish. Yeah. Another important goal, and happy to help the team, you know, with goals and assists, and that's what I want to do, you know, help the team as much as possible. So very happy to do that again.
The fourth goal probably turned out to be perhaps more important than you thought at the time. Tell us about it, and more importantly, your part in it.
I just saw it was a lot of space in behind, and our wingers are so quick, so just to get the ball in the right space and put a good speed on the ball, and then it's not easy to stop Martinelli there, so it was a great goal.
Bukayo, there is a long, long way to go in the season, we know, but what opportunity are you sensing here and now for Arsenal?
As you said, you know, it's a great opportunity we have, and it's a great place we've put ourselves in, but you know, we're not focused on that right now. You know, we just want to continue to focus on the next game, because we know how good Newcastle have been playing, so that's our only focus right now.
Guys, another big win today. Martin, you're also the player of the match. Bukayo, if you wouldn't mind doing the honours for us.
Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Cool. Thanks, Greg.
And well deserved at that, no?
Absolutely, yeah. He's been fantastic all season, Martin Odegaard, and he's actually getting better as the season's going, as the games get more and more pressurised. He seems to be finding more space, doing more beautiful things. Like I say, at the moment, he's one of the best creative players in the league. So that coincides with everybody else playing well as well. Saka doing what he's doing, Eddie Nketiah coming in, Martinelli doing Partey. There's such a big emphasis on everybody doing well in different departments that it's coming together for Arsenal at the moment. So long may it continue.
Absolutely. And as a midfielder yourself, what do you admire most about him?
I'm saying ordinary midfielders. You have midfielders that can win games for you, and that's what he is. He's a match winner. He finds those moments, and we've seen it in tight areas how he can just make something out of nothing. He finds passes. He sees them early. We've seen that in Martinelli's goal, how early he's seen and identified the space beyond for him to play that pass. Good midfielders or world-class midfielders find that, and he's playing like a world-class midfielder right now. He just finds them moments that win games for you.
He's doing everything. He's scoring, he's linking, he's assisting, he's doing everything at the moment. He's really playing that captain's role brilliantly.
Is it quite difficult as an Arsenal fan to keep your feet on the ground?
Yeah.
I've been trying to pin right down.
I know. It is. It is because there's a lot of people who don't get me wrong, Seema. There's people waiting for Arsenal to slip up.
Yeah.
Of course they are, because they're thinking, this won't last. At the moment, they're going with the momentum. Listen to the guys, they're sounding so professional. They're just taking the next game as it comes, and that's all we should do as fans. But don't stop the joy.
No.
You know what I mean?
You've got to enjoy the journey.
Absolutely, you've got to enjoy the moment. People always want to be the celebration police. Enjoy the moment, because this is the time to enjoy it. When your team's winning.
I think you can see that with them. I think you see that in the interviews, you see that at the end of the game, how they are with each other. But I think it was important what Odegaard said there, is that they're focused on winning their game. They would have known that Manchester City had dropped some points. They would have known that Newcastle. But before that, they were going in this game to get 3 points. That's a bonus for them. What they're going in, their focus is to get the 3 points from each game. I think that's what the shift is from last year. They probably focus on other people around them. This year, it's solely us, our supporters, and what we can keep control of.
And that's the thing with the supporters. I want the supporters to enjoy it while it's happening.
Yeah.
There's too many people waiting for it to go wrong. Enjoy the moment.
Absolutely. And we all know, we've mentioned it a few times, that this is, of course, Arsenal's best ever Premier League start. But let's have a look at how it compares with other teams that have also had good starts. And there you go. They're not top of the list there, but look at what the teams above them have done with 46 points, and they've gone on to finish first. And that's just to get you even more excited, righty? Yeah. Without trying to get you excited.
It goes back a long way. Look, Tottenham, 61, don't it? It's a long time.
It is.
But at the same time, Seema, it doesn't...
There's a little smile on his face.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. You don't want to be seeing stuff like that, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of season. There's a lot of season left. There's a lot of season left.
There is.
You know what? 7 points sounds like a lot. We spoke about it before.
Exactly.
It's not much. They've got to play Manchester City twice. They've still got Newcastle. So teams around them, Arsenal's still going to face. But as you say, you've got to enjoy these moments, because they are in tremendous form, and collectively, and I'm talking from out to in terms of their fans, management, staff, players, they just seem collectively together. And when you've got a group of players that are buying into one thing, at the end of it normally becomes success.
Hello and welcome back to Matchday Live, where Arsenal fans watching around the world will be delighted, because Arsenal are 2-0 up at the break, and they've looked like they've been in cruise control, really. Let's get to the action straight away, because there's plenty to talk about. Farah, talk us through Saka's goal on the 66th second.
Really early goal. There would have been some nerves maybe going into the game. We spoke about it before, but it was Lamptey coming out with the ball here. But we spoke before the game about Zinchenko's positioning, and it was him that actually intercepts it or puts the initial press on, and then finds Martinelli down the side, and he gets a good cross. You'll see from the replay here, it actually comes they overload. It's Odegaard. They overload in the midfield, Arsenal, and they do that with Zinchenko being in there. So you see Zinchenko's positioning. They lose the ball in the transition. Lamptey's on it, but look at the pressure from Zinchenko. When they intercept from Partey, he's now in a position to play forward. And look, we identify the space here for Martinelli, and it's a good cross. He puts the ball in. You can see Saka pull away on the back post, and it's a composed finish here from Saka. And I think that's what he's started to show in his game, the maturity and the composure in that final third, and that now puts him on 6 goals. But it's a great finish. The composure here, look, he did it the other night against West Ham, and he does it again here. Great composure, and sets Arsenal on their way early.
And that's the key there, to go 1-0 up so early, righty.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Well, they wouldn't have been expecting it. Obviously, a big mistake for me from Tariq Lamptey trying to run out there, with Arsenal being so aggressive in the press. And then they've punished them. And since they've punished them, they've kind of been in control. There's been a couple of chances for Brighton to try and attack them, but we might see those. But in the main, it's been quite comfortable for Arsenal. So
then let's look at Odegaard's goal to take it to 2-0. He's put in a real captain's performance, hasn't he?
Well, this is what he does. He's a quality player. It's a great ball in, and there's so many bodies in the way there. The goalkeeper's feet. I think he's trying to say Gabriel impedes him or something. If no one impedes him there, he can't see it. It's coming through the bodies. And what you got to do there is just hit it into the bodies, and it's not got no deflection. It's gone straight in. And to be honest, the way Arsenal are playing, They are very comfortable, and it's just a matter of time. They've just got to let Brighton come onto him now.
That was his 7th league goal. He's a top goal scorer for Arsenal, but he's equalled his tally for the whole of last season. And that just tells you just how good he's been. He's been so brilliant for Arsenal. But then there was another moment of magic from Odegaard, wasn't there? This was a Martinelli chance, but look at what Odegaard did in the build-up to this.
No, go on,
Farah. This is what Martinelli needs to do, though. When he plays into those areas, he needs to follow his pass, and then something will come of it. And he's been screaming out for Martinelli to do this all game or all half. And this skill here, the way he just drags it back and pushes it through Dunk's legs. I mean, and our soft seats,
you know,
right?
It's one of those, Farah, with Odegaard in that vicinity of the field, he'll make something happen. That's what the quality he is. That's the quality he has. He'll make something happen. That's why I'd like to see Martinelli get it, run, pass it and go again, because he will get it to him, like he just showed he was capable of doing there.
Brilliant. We keep watching that over and over again. So Arsenal have taken control, but where could Brighton have done better?
Well, it's their right side. Me and Farah seen it's their right side with Tariq Lamptey. What his problem is that if he goes, he's worried. He's got to worry about Martinelli the other side. But you can see once they get here, this is Arsenal going forward. Once they lose it here. This is Odegaard's press. This is Arsenal's press here. This is what Arsenal are doing to keep them in there. Seems, and now bam, that's what it was. I think the other one I'm talking about is coming next. And this is what Brighton are having a problem with. They can't get out. But the problem that they can do is when they get onto the right-hand side, if Tariq Lamptey can get forward in that situation, because Zinchenko's gone inside, they can get across, but they can't get it across there quick enough. They can't do it quick enough, and Arsenal get themselves in shape really quick. This is another good run here. He plays it into him, but then you look it's the box. When you look inside, look at that. There's no one in the box. There's one person in the box now. So even when they do get something right, they can't quite get the bodies in there to kind of capitalise on what they're trying to do.
I think he's right. I think you're right there in terms of it's down that left-hand side of Arsenal's and Brighton's right-hand side. They've identified that's where they could potentially hurt Arsenal. The problem is they're too slow in doing it, and it just allows Arsenal to get back. And they've been really disciplined defensively. Their shape and distances between the back line and the midfield four, Brighton have struggled to break that down.